Hi, my name's Steve Martilli, and in this video, I'm going to share a pretty compelling story on a woman who had insomnia and how we basically, how we worked together to help rebalance her energy so that she could sleep and stay asleep. And it was a dramatic change. So I'll just dive right into the story. I'll talk a little bit about what I believe the cause of insomnia is, and also, you know, how we balance the energy, okay, and why it's important, and the stages that we go to get into imbalance, which is kind of why this whole started. So this specific woman, she had about a year ago had an event happen. I won't get into the event, but it was very traumatic, very emotional, and at some point she had these emotions come up where she didn't feel safe in her own body, okay? And if you've ever had that kind of feeling like you don't feel safe in your own body, then you know what I'm talking about. So that led to the beginning of the insomnia. We worked together for an hour, and at the end of that hour, I asked her if she felt safe in her body, and she did. So we had a week conversation. We waited a week to follow up and have a second conversation, and she said she had the most amazing sleep that week. In fact, she was sleeping so well that she wasn't even waking up to get up her alarm. She wanted to sleep in more, which makes sense. She was probably like completely deprived of sleep for a year. That's a long time. So how did we do it? And I'm going to go through a little bit of the process. But before I do, I want to talk about why this happens, okay? So in this case specifically, she had some incoherent, blocked energy in her root chakra. The root chakra is the one at the bottom of your spine, okay? And if you feel secure, if you feel safe, that means that the energy in that location, that root chakra, the root energy center, is coherent, meaning that the energy in that area is in alignment. Let me give you an example. I've talked about this in other videos. If you have a stadium full of 1,000 people, or a small venue full of 1,000 people, and every person in that audience was to clap, okay? Now let's say that only 1 out of 10 are clapping in sync. Everyone else is just like chaos. But you've got that 1 out of 10 that are clapping in sync. That's what you would call incoherence, okay? Now, if you have 1,000 people and every one of those people is clapping in sync, there's order. What happens is that's coherence. When your body is in a good state, you feel energetic, healthy, alive, the cells are coherent. They're all clapping, they're all following the marching orders, they're all in sync. There's order. But if you're incoherent, where 1 out of every 10 is clapping, then you have disorder. And if that happens in the body, then what happens is the body, you're disrupting the unconscious functions of the body, i.e. sleep. Okay, so now that you understand coherence and incoherence, now let me talk a little bit about how this happens. So we accumulate negative emotions on a day-to-day basis. You say, well, where am I accumulating negative emotions? You accumulate them from EMFs, Wi-Fi, cellular towers. You accumulate these negative emotions and vibrations from food that doesn't serve you, that's actually probably killing you or creating disease in your body and you're not even aware of it. And you can also accumulate negative emotions from people that are negative in your life. Negative coworkers, negative spouse, negative Nancy, negative anyone, negative family members, okay? So, and in fact, people that feel negative come to you and then they make you feel negative, they feel better. But then it puts you in a negative state, okay? And it doesn't serve you. So you gotta take care of you. But we accumulate these negative emotions daily. And for a lot of us, we're not doing anything to rebalance the energy so that we're not accumulating negative emotions. We just kind of go with it. But then one day happens, and I had this happen to a really close friend of mine years ago. He collapsed from dehydration and from lack of sleep. He just collapsed. And that's what happens over time when you don't dispense these negative emotions. Again, our environment's filled with them. It's your job, A, to protect yourself as much as you can in your environment from those negative disturbances, EMFs, right? Wi-Fi cell towers, food, and people. But, it's planet Earth. It's not easy. So sometimes you might not realize you're not setting up the boundaries to do that for yourself. So if you don't, which a lot of people don't, and even I do my best to set those boundaries, we still are pulling in, I like chips, so I'll go and eat my chips and stuff. And so again, I'm putting stuff in my body that doesn't serve me, that's accumulating these, we'll call negative emotions. What I'm really getting at is negative vibrations, okay? So we all do it. But what we don't do, and this is for a good, I would say most of the planet, 99% of people, they don't take the time to rebalance their energy so that they feel energetic, so they feel coherent. So going back to what I was saying, if you accumulate these negative emotions, that's stage one. But at some point, the energy starts to disrupt the body's unconscious functions. What do I mean by that? Your sleep, your breathing, right? Most of us don't know how to breathe. We're always like, because we feel anxious, we feel anxiety, we feel overwhelmed. And our body is listening to those directions, and the cells are responding to that unconscious function. So this energy, vibration, I use them interchangeably because they're really the same thing, disrupts the body's unconscious functions. Therefore, you can't sleep. You can't even perform in your job. You feel tired all the time. Well, why is that? Well, it's because you have created chaos and disorder in the body by having a lack of coherence. And you haven't taken the time, or maybe you didn't even know, that it actually is part of the new human to rebalance that energy every day. And I've been doing this, I've been meditating for, 12 years now. That's a form of balancing. But I've been doing it for so long, I don't even remember when I didn't do it. I don't even remember the person I was when I wasn't doing it. And the reason I, intuitively started doing this was because I realized it was helping me be a better husband, a better person, a better, son, a better business owner, a better salesperson, a better everything. I just felt like more of myself. So we accumulate these negative emotions. Energy disrupts the unconscious bodily functions, then starts to break down. And this is what we do, is that we either don't do anything until stuff starts to break down, and then we wake up and do something about it, which, that's fine. But sometimes what we do is we try to get rid of these emotions, and when we do that, it gets worse. You know what I mean? It's like you try not to think the thoughts, or you try not to have the feelings, but what you're doing is you're unconsciously resisting them, which gives them life and energy, which makes it worse. Okay? So to some degree, we're all doing this, accumulating negative emotions, energies disrupting the bodily functions, and then we try to get rid of them, which makes it worse. Again, we're doing the best we can with the information we have, but there's new information because now we have the new human, right? And this new human is about balancing our energy daily. Doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 40 minutes, 60 minutes. I'll spend usually 40 minutes if I got an appointment in the morning. If I have no appointments in the morning, I'll spend 60 minutes because I actually enjoy the process. Now, this example, this story I was sharing about this woman I work with who, we basically cured the insomnia. The cause of it was this incoherence and energy disorder at the root chakra, which made her feel unsafe. But once we cleared and balanced the energy around that, then she felt safe. And guess what? She started to sleep. So I'm not saying that every person who has insomnia, I can help them. I'm saying that if you are, done not enjoying a good sleep, you feel that you can do something without medication, without prescriptions, without drugs, and you want an alternative way to help, then I'm happy to have a conversation with you to see if that's something we can do. Okay, and there's a link below if you want to jump in my calendar and book us a Zoom call to see if this is something I can help you with. Okay, awesome. There's no cost to it, to the free call, because it's just really a meet and greet, and I want to get to know where what issues you've been having, and then I want to see if I can pinpoint the source of it, and if I can, and you're willing to be helped, there's probably a good chance that I can help you. We've got a pretty good track record. Okay. So anyways, I can't help everyone, but if that's something you're interested in, be free to book a call at the link below in the description of the YouTube video. Other than that, I just wanted to mention that, you don't have to suffer, you don't have to live with insomnia. And if you're living with other things like anxiety and you think, well, I just got to cope with it and deal with it. And it's funny because I started Googling a bit of insomnia and looking what the advertising was saying about insomnia, and it's all around perpetuating the pharmaceutical industry. It's about coping with it and taking drugs, and it's like, you don't have to do that. You can actually live the fullest life because of the technology that you have in your body to rebalance your own energy and provide your own healing. Okay? Anyways, thanks for watching. My name's Steve. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. And I look forward to hearing from you in the comments below. If you have never watched one of my videos before and this is the first time, then I would love a thumbs up from you as well. And please subscribe so you can get other videos like this. Thanks again for watching. My name's Steve, and we'll talk to you next time.